Okay, this is my 10th video. The first one you might have stumbled upon casually, maybe you thought that one was a joke and you clicked on the second. Maybe you saw the title of the third one and it looked like a proper tutorial, so you opened it. But if after 9 videos you still clicked on this one, that's totally on you. A serious channel would show you how to make the cardboard clay, and after that one, a video that uses the clay. A serious channel, I said. So on this video I'm going to show you how to make that cardboard clay I used on my previous video. Welcome to the shit show. Go get cardboard, oil, vinegar, flour, a blender, a scale, PVA glue, cups, buckets, film, a strainer, a sock, and toilet paper. I'm not gonna give you exact measures for this, but rather proportions. This is actually the second time ever I made this clay, and it's really hard to fuck up, so don't stress over that. First, we have to make a basic dry clay with cardboard, water and toilet paper. And depending on how much that clay weighs, we will use more or less of the rest of the ingredients. Step 1. Heat water. No need to have it boiling hot. In fact, you don't even have to heat it. But hot water is gonna make the cardboard soft quicker. Pour it in a bucket or large container. Step 2. Get the cardboard and start tearing it down. Make sure to remove staples, pieces of tape, raccoons living inside, anything that's not cardboard. The best kind is the regular corrugated one, but even toilet paper roll cardboard works too. Maybe not cereal box, because one side is kind of glossy and plasticky. Check if you have a windshield repair shop or a regular car shop near you and ask them for windshield boxes. They are really sturdy stuff that works for this purpose, but it's also great to actually build things with. I have done paintings using that material that were 2 by 2.5 meters big in acrylics. Step 2. Do the same with some toilet paper or kitchen towels. For the amount of cardboard that we just put in, I'd say this amount of toilet paper is enough. Step 2. Using a cheap blender, grind everything until you get this disgusting texture. Delicious. Now get an old rag or a piece of cloth, or in this case a sock, and start wringing chunks of the paste. When you get to the bottom, use a strainer to really get the last bits and remove any big pieces of cardboard that the blender might have missed. Step 2. Now it's the time to weigh this clay and calculate how much of the other stuff we have to put in. For every kilo of this dry clay, we need to use another kilo of flour, 400 grams of white glue, 300 grams of water, 2 spoonfuls of oil, 2 spoonfuls of vinegar, and 2 spoonfuls of mouthwash. A viewer asked me if there was an alternative to mouthwash and what was its function. And I have a theory that it is only to prevent the clay from smelling too much. So I'm going to see how the clay works without it. The batch I made weighs almost exactly 0.5 kilos, so I just have to halve the measures I just gave you. Step 3. Start by breaking up the dry clay again in smaller chunks. Then add the water you used when wringing the dry clay. You can use regular water, but this way you'll be 1. Saving water, which is always nice for the environment, and 2. The leftover cellulose from the cardboard is gonna aid in making the final product stick together and harden better. Then put the glue, oil and vinegar in no particular order. Start mixing with a wooden spoon or some sturdy tool, and if you see that it is too dry, keep adding water. Step 2. Once it's even grosser than before, you can already use it as it is to cover things like hills or mountains. Basically, it would act as a very thick drywall filler. But if you want to work it as a modeling clay, it's time to start putting the flour in. You might end up using all of the flour or just a little. It depends on how dense you want the clay to be. Also, you can put paint in the mix if you want to have a base color. Use your cheapest acrylics if you're going to do this. Now take the clay out of the bucket and keep working it with your hands. It's easier to work if you divide it into smaller chunks and make a few balls with the dough. And of course, this is pretty decent crafts. I am working with balls, so I am obligated to make a few ball jokes. Let's make them all now and get it out of the way, shall we? Keep dipping your balls in flour and squeeze them with your hands. Don't worry if your balls don't have the same shape or size, as long as they have a good texture, they're fine. You can heat your balls with several tools to make them easier to handle. Put more flour all over your balls if you feel they're still wet. Work your balls until they are not sticky or barely sticky. When you are done, weigh your balls. My balls are quite heavy, almost 1.5 kilos. Use transparent film to keep your balls moist and ready to use. Okay, that's enough. That should have separated the weak subscriber from the real PDC fans. If you made it through that pile of crap without skipping, you are cool, and you just entered a giveaway contest. I will be announcing the details for that soon. The best way to keep them is either in the freezer if you don't plan on using them soon, or in the fridge where they should last for several weeks. When you work with this clay, it's a good idea to have a bowl with water next to you, to smooth surfaces or to reactivate the glue in the clay and stick things together. This paste is great for covering stuff or crafting small pieces. I mean, if you make things that are too thick, they may take a very long time to fully dry. I have not tried to put this in the oven, but to give you an idea, the amulet I did on the previous video took about 2 hours to dry, just sitting on a warm place in my house. If you have a heater or a fireplace, put the piece near any of those. But to be sure, my advice is that you leave bigger pieces to dry overnight. Okay, this video is getting already too long, but I have an announcement to make. I am a total noob on this YouTube thing, so my scheduling is a mess. And what should have been something I do as a hobby on my spare time is now a full-time job, an unpaid full-time job. And I'm a freelancer, so to me, any time I'm not working is literally money I'm losing. And this weekly upload rate is not sustainable in the long run, so I'm splitting the Pretty Decent Craft videos into seasons. And this is the last video for this season. This way I can manage my time better and record videos in advance without having to sacrifice their quality, just to have them up every week. Also, I'm going to look up ways to monetize this stuff so I can spend less time on my regular job and more doing content for you, and not losing money or just losing less money. And I would also like to improve some of the equipment I currently work with. And when I say equipment, I mean I film and record audio with my phone, and it shows. So expect a Patreon, or in Latin expecto patronum, or a Kickstarter, or something like that. I will still upload stuff every other week, just not so much edit heavy videos. And maybe not everything related to crafting, like that job I keep talking about. I'm an artist, and I would like to maybe draw and paint some characters and turn them into paper miniatures for you. So I could record myself drawing, share some process on how I go from the idea to the final piece of crafting projects, or more songs. So I'm gonna do a very YouTuber thing and ask you to leave me in the comments what would you be interested in seeing other than the regular craft joke combo videos. Also, if you hit the bell icon next to the subscriber button, I can annoy you with polls, quizzes and details about the giveaway that is totally happening. So go do that. And see you soon.